most of the agencies right now, businesses, companies, whatever, there's a chaos going on day by day. There's just too many freelancers. Either there's too many freelancers or too many contractors. And guess what happens when you have all of that? Well, let's say, for example, you have 5 freelancers working for your company, agency, brand, whatever it is. Each of those freelancers will use different type of tools, different type of favorite communication channels, different type of style, different type of... So there's going to be a really broad idea of what's happening in your business. Let's say, for example, they are editors, right? Each of the editors, someone might want to work between a time that's favorable to them if they're remote, right? And one of them doesn't want to use Slack for communication, wants to use Google Chat, whatever. It just becomes a mess. It becomes a chaos. And nothing's wrong maybe with the people. They work fine, right? The system just doesn't make sense. And that's why the chaos happens. There's no single owner of the whole team, and deadlines start missing because of bad communication between every freelancer, every contractor, every worker. There's just not a system in place. And yeah, as mentioned, the system just didn't make sense anymore. Everything starts collapsing. Now, when those things start to happen, there's a bottleneck. And why is that? Well, because there's not a defined ownership. And also in this case, if, let's say, for example, this person right here, the one person that is managing everything in this case, goes offline, is busy, maybe that guy changes the job, you need to rehire someone else, you're going to have to onboard someone else to manage all your contractors, all their freelancers. It's going to take another 2 months. That's just minus 2 months of productive work. And just what happens then is just timeline gap starts causing delivery delays, delivery quality issues as well, because maybe this guy was probably doing the whole quality assurance as well. And this thing just becomes a mess. You think you were saving money, but in the end, it's just costing you even more money. And now you're in the hole, you're in the red, and your agency is probably close to either closing down or either removing those freelancers, removing some clients because now you can't even deliver the output that you promised. And what we deliver here at Equips is a new system, a managed pod, we like to call it. And what this is, for example, let's say you as a client, an agency, a company, whatever that is, we do have a specified team, a specified project manager here in Kosovo. And let's say you're looking to hire the same 5 freelancers that you have. Let's say you had 5 freelancers in the beginning, right? Well, what we can do is hire those same 5 freelancers or contractors, in this case, let's say video editors, and let's say you also want some designers and also a QA specialist. Now, the thing is, what happens here is that every single one of these guys is not going to be scattered around the world, is not going to have favorite tools, styles to use. No, they're all going to be in the same communication channel with our project manager here at Equips. And what happens, they're going to be in the same time zone, they're going to have the same processes, they're going to have the same culture because everyone is here in Kosovo, and so on. You now have a really good system set for good delivery, good quality, because as I've said, you can check one of my before videos explaining how workforce works these days. So how did we help an agency within 14 days in last month completely restructure their content team by doing and also working with Equips? First of all, in the first and second day of contact with the clients, we defined deliverables and access, how the brief is going to be shared, how deliverables are going to be shared, and how access is going to work on probably the main folders that a company uses. Day 3 and 5, sourcing and onboarding the team. Now, probably this setup is going to be depending on your requests, but of course, within 1 to 2 weeks, we can probably find the people that you're looking for. Either that's just in video editing, in creative, in software engineering, whatever that is. In this specific case for our previous client, it was on content media delivery, so it included video editors mostly and some graphic designers. But of course, day 3 and 5, we were sourcing and onboarding the team. And 6, 10, we like to train our new onboarders, our new contractors, specifically on what style, on what work, and on what projects your team is going to be looking to have them engaged. And of course, aligning them with the workflows of your current preferences so they are aligned and they're just going to feel like they're integrating into a team. Super simple, super easy. And of course, by day 11 to day 14, within the first 2 weeks, we have the full execution and the full team is going to be ready for you to work on, and you can start pushing those projects right away. Now, within this specific case study, I'm going to be showing you some results before and afters. This team that they were working with at least 5 to 6 freelancers or contractors, and they were mostly video editors. Each one of them was costing around 3,000 to 4,000 euros. What we did is half that cost. And so now we were only charging them 1,500 for editor and also graphic designer. So we basically just did a 50% reduce of cost here while keeping the quality and the speed the same. The output went even faster and even more. They went from 5 videos a week to 12 videos a week, also including thumbnails now. And the delivery, it was inconsistent because of the different type of channels everyone was using. Someone was trying to use WhatsApp, someone was trying to use Slack. We were using now only specified channels that we use in Equips. The management was fine, the management was easier, and every deliverable was on time. And of course, involvement. At the current moment you're at, having 5 contractors is going to take you involvement daily. And that's what they were doing. But now, since we're managing the whole team, we only have, let's say the team likes to do Friday weekly catch-ups right now. So we only do a checkup on a weekly, see the briefs, see the deliverables, everything's on check. What are we going to work next week? It's going to take 1-2 hours meeting and it's done. And then we just repeat the progress and we just go on and improving our output. And as I mentioned, output doubled while cost halved and quality preserved. That's the main key thing of what we aspire on at Equips. It's not just about saving money, it's about preserving the quality, and even sometimes we increase the quality with our talent. And how did this framework work? Well, with a client, we like to define the deliverables really clearly. This is what we specialize as well, not having miscommunication between the two channels of what's requested and what's going to be worked on. 2, we assign 1 PM to own delivery. We don't assign many people and everyone having their own ideas. It's going to be 1 PM just channeling your thoughts, your ideas, your project requirements to the team. We work on that. It's done. There's not going to be complications of having 5 different files, 5 different people looking at it. No, it's going to be simple and easy. We just plug the team into the one shared workflow that the PM works. Either that's whatever system management tool, ClickUp, whatever. And what happens next? Well, we just start working. And of course, this works for any business, every niche, every industry, depending on what you are looking for. At the moment at Equips, we are mainly managing teams of SDRs, teams of video editors, teams of software developers. Now, software developing goes into a more detailed breakdown because we have backend engineers, front-end engineers, different type of specific technologies people want to hire for, and so on. If you want to see how this system can work in your company or in your agency right now, we want to see what kind of people we can build here, what kind of teams we can build here, you can book down below a 15-minute audit with me. We can check everything in details. Or if you want to check for yourself first some data about what I'm talking about here on the cost of a workforce, whatever, there's a blueprint down below that you can check out. It will explain everything super detailed. It's going to include market data. It's going to include employee data. It's going to include salary data, economy data, industry data, niche data. Check it down below. You can check it in the description. But that's it. It's a simple structure, 2-week setup. And it's a structure that doesn't break if one person in your team managing them gets busy.